Have you ever hated your own child? I never thought I could. Sarah was always different. While other kids played with dolls, she conducted experiments, pulling wings off butterflies, watching ants burn under magnifying glasses. The therapist called it conduct disorder. My husband Mark insisted she'd grow out of it. We tried everything: medications, specialists, different schools, nothing worked. Her little brother Tommy was her opposite: gentle, kind, the type of kid who'd spend his allowance on food for stray cats. He idolized Sarah despite everything. Mark was the only one who could really connect with Sarah. They'd spend hours in his study, him teaching her about his work as a pharmaceutical researcher. Then Mark got sick. Heart problems, the doctor said. Natural causes. Sarah was 13 when he died. She seemed to improve after that. Started volunteering at the animal shelter. Got better grades. Grief can catalyze emotional growth, her new therapist explained. I desperately wanted to believe she was healing. 2 years later, Tommy started getting sick. Violent stomach pains, weekly hospital visits. The doctors were baffled. He'd improve at the hospital, get worse at home. I caught him hiding food, claiming he wasn't hungry. Late one night, I heard Sarah in the kitchen. Through the crack in the door, I watched her crushing something into Tommy's cereal. My hands shook as I grabbed the container. Pills from Mark's old prescription bottles. That night, as the police led Sarah away, she looked at me with her father's eyes. You know what's funny, Mom? Dad didn't die from heart problems. He caught me practicing with his medications. Said he was proud of my interest in chemistry. Then he started feeling sick too. My daughter put a boy in the hospital, and I've never ever been prouder. My daughter was in chemistry lab when the basketball star knocked over their experiment accidentally while showing off to his teammates. The chemicals ruined her partner's competition notes. 3 months of research destroyed in seconds. She'd endured weeks of his harassment, including stolen research and damaged equipment, so she grabbed a beaker of blue indicator solution and dumped it over his head without a second thought. Nobody knew he was severely allergic to one of the compounds in the solution. His face swelled instantly, and he collapsed gasping for air on the lab floor. The teacher quickly administered his emergency EpiPen and called an ambulance, while other students backed away in shock. My daughter called me from the principal's office, terrified about what she'd done and convinced she'd be expelled before the end of her senior year. I rushed to school to meet with his parents and the superintendent. The basketball coach showed phone footage thinking it would help their case. Instead, it clearly captured the player deliberately ruining the experiment, laughing at their distress, and shoving her lab partner when he tried to protect their work. You could see the exact moment my daughter decided she'd had enough of his behavior. His father's demands for expulsion died as he watched his son's behavior. My daughter got detention, but he lost his spot on the team. As we left, her lab partner asked her to co-author their project. Sometimes justice wears safety goggles. How would you react if your best friend secretly called you trailer trash? My best friend finally announced her wedding date, and I was thrilled to be a bridesmaid. I had so many ideas and was excited to help her plan everything, but I quickly learned I wasn't her maid of honor. It hurt, but I understood it was her day to shine, not mine. While shopping for her wedding dress, I stepped away to get water and overheard her talking to her maid of honor. I only made Amber a bridesmaid because I felt bad for her, she whispered. The maid of honor laughed and said, I know. Can you imagine having trailer trash in your wedding photos? Then they both laughed harder. I was crushed. That night, I told my boyfriend everything while crying. He got quiet, then looked at me with determination. You know what we should do? Let's get married on the same day. Let's have the wedding you deserve. I was shocked, but immediately said yes. When I quit her bridal party, she was furious. You're ruining my symmetry. How could you be so selfish? We spent months planning our beautiful lake ceremony. I worried no one would come to ours. On our wedding day, I was amazed. Almost all our mutual friends chose our wedding over her country club event. By evening, even some of her family arrived at our reception. Her wedding feels cold and staged, they told me. This is what real celebration feels like. The perfect moment. When my best friend showed up still in her wedding dress, looking defeated, I simply handed her a glass of champagne and said, welcome to my trailer trash wedding. Funny how it's the one everyone wanted to attend. My dream job turned into my worst nightmare, but karma had other plans. I worked in tech for 5 years when my dream company posted the perfect job. Even better, it was 2 blocks from my house. The interview went amazing. The team loved me, the manager couldn't stop smiling, and the director even gave me a tour saying I'd fit right in. Then the offer came. It was $25,000 less than I made now. I was shocked. When I told the recruiter this was way below my current salary, she laughed and said, there's no way someone like you makes that much. Her tone made my stomach turn. Someone like me? I asked what she meant. She got flustered and said, well, you know, someone your age. I was 26, the same age as their CEO when he started the company. I stayed professional and declined. The recruiter kept calling, offering tiny raises, saying I should be grateful since the office was so close to home. Each time she got ruder, even suggesting I was lying about my experience. 2 weeks later, I got an offer from their biggest competitor. It paid $30,000 more than my current job, with full remote work and better benefits. I accepted on the spot. Here's where it gets good. A month later, my dream company's entire recruiting team was fired. Why? They'd failed to fill any positions because they kept lowballing candidates. The director quit too. The best part? My new company won a huge contract. The same one my dream company lost because they were understaffed. Sometimes the job you don't get is the biggest blessing in disguise. Last I heard, they're still trying to fill that position.
I took my daughter to dance class, and the moms got me banned for being creepy until they learned the truth. When my wife deployed overseas, I became a full-time dad to our 4-year-old Emma. She begged to take ballet, so I signed her up at the local dance studio. The first day, I sat with other parents to watch. 2 moms moved their chairs away, others kept glancing and whispering. Even my sister-in-law pretended not to know me. I focused on Emma, twirling in her pink tutu, beaming with joy. After class, the studio owner pulled me aside. She said moms were uncomfortable with a man watching young girls dance and suggested I wait in my car. My sister-in-law stood behind her, nodding. I showed her a photo of Emma and me, then pulled up my wife's military service page. The owner's face turned red, but I wasn't done. I explained how my daughter cried for dance lessons for months, how I worked extra shifts to afford her tutu, how her mom video calls every week to hear about dance class. Then I asked my sister-in-law if she'd tell her deployed sister why Emma quit dancing. The next day, the studio posted new rules. All parents must be allowed to watch their children. Those uncomfortable could wait in their cars. 3 moms pulled their kids out, but 5 new families joined, including 2 other dads. My sister-in-law apologized and now sits with me during class. Now Emma has even more friends to dance with, and I get to watch every single twirl just like her mom would want. Fathers, what moment changed your life forever? It happened on a regular Tuesday at Walmart. My 8-year-old son Jack was having one of his meltdowns, lying on the floor screaming because I wouldn't buy him a toy truck. People were staring, whispering, judging. I could feel my temper rising. Then an elderly man walked up. Instead of the usual disapproving look, he knelt down beside Jack and said, "You know, I used to drive trucks for a living." Jack stopped mid-scream. The man pulled out his wallet and showed him an old trucking license. For 15 minutes, this stranger sat on the floor of Walmart with my son, talking about different trucks he'd driven. Jack completely forgot about the toy. He was mesmerized by stories about cross-country hauls and midnight drives. Before leaving, the man turned to me and said quietly, "My son was autistic. Trucks were his thing too. Sometimes all they need is someone who understands their world." I hadn't told him Jack was autistic. He just knew. That night I couldn't sleep. I realized I'd been parenting for other people, trying to make Jack act normal in public, getting angry when he didn't. But that stranger taught me something. Sometimes being a good father means meeting your child where they are. Now when Jack has a meltdown, we talk about trucks. Last week he had a school presentation about my hero. He talked about truck drivers. Some days are still hard, but I see people differently now. They just don't understand his world yet.